Or there's a couple of a couple of seat bracket here that I need to mark. This one is the red one, it's the only one I need. It looks like it's just power, right? Power to the seats. I'm gonna mark that because I'm gonna need to keep the actual bracket. But I'm not sure yet whether or not I need everything else or just that. Now, what I'm kind of thinking of is adding a more direct path to power up the seats, just to get it moving in and out, and also before I replace it with the racing seats, because the racing seats are kind of expensive. So I'm definitely not gonna have the money now or the funds to buy both racing seats and get them all hooked up with brackets and everything. So there's still a lot of stuff that needs to get done. So this will have to be temporarily hooked up to a battery and just, get it moving. So we are gonna keep this for the seat. Well, I should probably add it right here. Now I only need this red part right here, this red connector, but I don't want to open this up, so I'm just gonna clip this whole thing out. Now at this point, there's nothing else in here that I need. I mean, power for the motor for the passenger and driver side windows. Other than that, I think that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect all this stuff in here. I guess we could start here. See, they like merge somehow. They go from the passenger side to the driver side, and they go do this little loop thing, and they all merge together somehow. Weird, really like this. Apparently, what the heck? If you take out this unit, which pumps the air like that for locking and unlocking, you also lose your window power. So with this, you can lower and... So yeah, now I gotta figure out what exactly is going on with this. Why is it that I'm losing power to my window? So I need to rewire this so that I guess, maybe if it's... Yeah, I don't know. No thoughts on it yet. Let me think about this one. But definitely, without this unit, I can't power up my window. So I'm gonna keep this plug while I route everything or find everything that I need for the window. Okay? Alright, let me pause here right quick and give you guys a bit of an update. I was able to separate the wiring harness for the lights and also the sender, the fuel sender, from the main harness that's going on here. And I also figured out which one I need to keep for the headlight on that side. Now there is a little bit of a problem. Looks like the connection for this is getting power from all the connection that I took out from the front here. So this one is for the window regulator, or for the window motor. So that means I need to figure out how to rewire it or get power to it, or make my own double throw switch or whatever. But yeah, so once I'm done taking off, or at least what I think I'm done taking off all this stuff, I won't have any power to the door. I will, however, at least I expect to have headlights, taillights, fuel sender. I'm not even entirely sure if I can get my old cluster working again, because all these wires that I'm taking out, yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna get full power to the cluster. So I guess at this point it doesn't, it kind of does matter, but at the same time, if it comes down to it that I can't use my cluster, then I can't use my cluster. I'm not gonna bother trying to get the cluster to work if it doesn't work right after I remove all this harness, because again, the cluster I have for the speedometer, but I do have a Vevox, which is pretty accurate as far as reading speed, and I do have an aftermarket tach also for reading tach signal. The only thing I don't have, or I need to figure out, is the fuel level sender, which is not a deal breaker, nice to have, but definitely not a deal breaker. so we are pretty much at the point of no return here. I need to get more so-and-so aggressive, take this off, because I'm now getting stuck with the driver's side. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut all this stuff out. Now, sometimes these little clips are pretty useful for other things, like you need to make a mini harness. You just made it to the other side and then you have a very durable mini harness. So what I tend to do is, you know, when I cut something like this, I do give it a, you know, a good amount of pigtail, just because you never know what you could use this for. Okay, now the main reason why I cut them off like that is just because I want to be able to pull all this harness or the wires all the way across. And if I have the little connectors there, it'll get stuck somewhere along the way. But if you don't, then it's easy to pull through. Now this whole thing has to come off. Alright, so that should be it, I think. So now we can actually see what is going on with all this stuff. There you go. Alright, so I ended up taking off the support just because I need to access the inside part here. In the future note, if I ever do another B5, take off everything, because at the end you're gonna end up having to do it anyway. So now that we're here, I'm really not sure now if I'm gonna be able to get the stock harness or the stock gauge cluster to work with all this stuff going on. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. It's interesting that I have another harness in here under, and I'm not sure why. This is really turning into a lot more work. Alright. Now I guess I need to go in the engine bay and then cut off any wires that has a clip. Alright, so here's where we are so far. Now majority of the body wires, like these and these, those are all actually disconnected already. The only ones that I haven't really figured out how to sort through are the lights and of course the window wires. Now on this side, this is actually looks like a lot of the ABS stuff. So these are all disconnected. The only thing that's connected is this, because that's my front headlights, and then of course this one because I want to keep a wiper. Guess you never really know. So I have my brake and my clutch, my hazard. So all I need to do is sort everything else out and then leave those items behind. Alright, so I think I have majority of the wires of the one with the plugs cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the fuse box right here. And all I'm gonna do is kind of figure out which wires is, you know, running empty, and then cut it out. Now I will keep about a foot long of a pigtail, that way if I do need a fuse, I could just reuse this one and then I won't have to add any other fuse block. Now a lot of the wires I've noticed is it actually just goes in a loop. I'll give you guys an example, let me pull one out. Like these. Okay. So I had cut one wire. Okay. And then I already had cut one here, so there was 3 wires that went this way. So there's been a few times already where I cut off both ends, and I actually already cut this side and this side. So this one is only, at least, you know, the third one is really the only one I need to cut. I don't know if that makes sense. But it seems like Audi likes to connect everything into one of these. And I mean, like, look at this. Ground, or power and ground. Or I don't really know what, I think that's ground, but. And then I guess black wire for another ground. But yeah, they like to crumple everything up So you can have like one connection like this with like 10 of them in there. So I would say this wiring right here is about 90-95% done. Well, maybe I'll say 90% done. I want to clean it up some more, obviously. But take a look at all this wiring right here. Look at all this stuff. This was all from the inside, nothing from the outside, just in the interior. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put it in the bag, and I'm really curious how much this thing weighs. So I couldn't find a giant bag. This is the biggest bag that we have in the house. I think it'll somewhat fit. Just gonna have to shove it all in there and compact it. Hopefully it doesn't rip the bag. This is a lot of stuff. Definitely heavy though. That's for sure. Okay, maybe if I kind of crunch it up. I don't see it being possible that I could just hook that up to this. So I'm gonna add a little bit of a rope. Not really significant, but 0.29 pounds, okay? Alright guys, was it worth the wait? Or was it worth the work actually? Oh, let's see. Tier 0, okay, let's see. It is really 32 pounds. Well, that's a lot lighter than I thought. I was thinking it was at least 50. Alright guys, so next up we actually need to figure out where is my stuff. So next up is trying to figure out how to install one of these. Never installed one before, and it's one of those, let's see, it's in the off now, so on. It's one of those that you, I guess, push off. So you push it like that, and this is a battery disconnect for anything that has a trunk mounted. I guess it won't let you race without one of these. So I'm gonna install one because I don't want to go to tech and not get let in. Now I figured out where I want to put this, and I'll install that a little bit later. But now I do have to route another wire for the alternator. I think this is long enough. Okay, so as far as routing is concerned, I'm gonna place the disconnect on the left side right here, or on the passenger side, and it's just gonna come up here, come down here, go to the floor. Floor's on the inside, not the outside, because I don't wanna have to do double work. And then come out through here. I think this one goes straight to the what you call that, the fender, and then if I can, just drop it from there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try that, and if that doesn't work, well, we'll figure it out. But until then, gonna try. Alright, so here is the unit for the quick disconnect. Basically I'm using the Audi one. So this thing was already a bracket that was on there, and all I did is really just added an extension here, and it's gonna be mounted like so. I think it should work. I mean, it's just a disconnect, so I don't need it to be super heavy duty. Maybe later on I'll actually go ahead and trim this out a little bit more, but I had a hard time trying to take off this nut right here. So just gonna leave it like this for now, and then yeah, let's mount it. Okay, now obviously I'm gonna have to shorten this rod, but for now that will be, or this will have to do. So again, this bracket is pretty heavy duty. I mean, check that out, it's pretty solid, and got it true across. Check this out. Ooh, that kind of catches a little bit there. Oh, never mind, take that back. So it looks like I could probably widen the hole here a little bit, just a tad bit, because it does catch a little bit, but if you push it, it goes in pretty solid, so I think we're good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that off, put it in the side for now, because I don't want to leave it in here and then get snugged in or snag on something.
So you decide
Decide what?
if you're gonna cut them off or.
I decided to just not bother.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna like bundle this up, tape them up, and then next time I do the actual full rewire, then I'll actually cut them and make them nice. So I was doing a bunch of this stuff. Kind of wish I just went ahead and just bought all the stuff that I needed from the beginning. Like, it sounded like a great idea to wait it out, but my leg feels tired now from sitting down from there. Alright, now it looks more civilized. If you guys notice right here, I just basically taped up all the wires, the excess one. I didn't really bother to clean that up because when I go with a different steering wheel setup, all the wires that goes here is gonna go away. Cluster is probably gonna go away. So when I do that, then I'll actually spend the time and clean this up fully. Alright, so put back everything now. Well, you know, roughly put back. And then what I need to do now is actually check to make sure that everything is still working, at least, you know, what I want. I have the battery kind of hooked up to the jumper. That's what you guys hear clicking. And let's give this a try. Alright, key on. Let's see if the lights work. Well, looks like the light's on. I'll turn this off and see. Alright, lights on. Cool. Lights turns on. Let's see that signal light. Okay. Signal light works. Alright, so now we have okay, so we have lights, turn signal. Hazard works. Hazard works. Sweet, so far so good. Last thing we need is wiper. Oh yeah. Perfect. So everything still works, you know what I want. I don't have that hooked up, so I can't roll down the window. All the harness is over here. I don't think I'm gonna bother trying to hook up the back ones, just because, well, it's a back one. I'll probably just leave it closed the whole time. Not gonna bother with that, but I will want that to be hooked up, at least, you know, this side. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out so far. We definitely lost some weight from the sunroof, all the wiring, and there's still a lot more stuff that I need to take out. For example, the door still has the covers all the way around. Actually, I have speakers on all 4 of them still. So there's definitely a lot more stuff to drop, but it is nighttime, so I'm gonna call it a day. Gotta clean up here and get ready for tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.